Good morning. So today we're going to talk about contactless in general. And during this presentation, I'm not going to talk only about dual interface as you may today know it, meaning payment. But I will talk also about a new specification that has been released by Visa and MasterCard, I would say last year, with the first development being done last year. First of all, when we talk about contactless, the most important is speed. Speed because people using such type of card, their interest is to do a transaction in a fast manner. So all the stakeholders of contactless transactions see an interest, and we will see this type of interest that people see. First of all, when we talk about the issuers, their first interest with fast transactions is to make more revenue. More revenue because, first of all, people, when they go, imagine that they go to a quick service restaurant, which serve people to eat in, let's say, 1 or 2 hours, the more they are able to serve people, the more they will make revenue. So for the merchant, it's interesting because it's increasing his revenue, but for the issuer, with the interchange, he can also generate additional revenue. Card activation rate, because when people use a card which is convenient, they will see an interest to use this card compared to one where they would systematically have to go by contact. When they will do a contactless transaction, this transaction will give a benefit, have an interest for the cardholders, so they will prefer to use it. Minimize cash management costs. This is something really interesting. I'm taking the example of a French bank. I will not mention which one. It is one of the 3 biggest French banks. Every year, just for the cash management, which is the cash counting at the end of the day, which is the cash transportation and the ATM feeding, they are spending 60 million euro every year. So if you just consider that by using dual interface cards, they would reduce that by 1%, this would still be a 600K savings every year. So the interest is clear for banks, and we've seen that in several countries, that again we will see after. They are now moving to dual interface cards.
Please make your way back to the conference room where the conference will commence now.
For the merchants, as transactions below a certain limit are done without any PIN or signature, etc., again, speed is a great of interest. And consumers, being able to do secure, fast, and easy transactions, they don't see the reason why not to use this type of cards. When we talk about dual interface, obviously, first question can be, is it secure? So yes, it is secure. It is based on the EMV risk management, meaning that it will benefit from the contact transactions. It will use the risk management with the different floor limits, meaning that you will go for transactions below a certain limit, which will be authorized immediately. If the transactions, if your cumulative amount of transactions goes above a limit, then the card will say, I want to go by contact to be able to put the EMV risk management counters back to 0, etc., etc. So benefits from all the EMV risk management. In terms of impact, the impact is quite limited because it will be just a POS upgrade, meaning that if your terminal is already equipped supporting contact transactions, it will require, obviously, to have a contactless reader. Having a contactless reader will obviously, most of the time, mean a software upgrade to support contactless transactions. Same authorization system will be used. However, you will have a slight change on the host. Oh, no, sorry, no change on the host because it is just the same issue authorizing system. If we think about the number of projects where contactless transactions are used, you can see that now it is starting to boom in most of the countries. Obviously, the number of cards issued country per country is different, and we've seen that for the past year, 100 million of cards were issued, where since 2007, roughly the first launch of dual interface cards, 200 million have grown. So as you can see, the trend is really booming, and in 2011, the growth has really been very important. Gemalto, up to now, on those 200 millions, issued since 2007, we have issued roughly 100 million, which means that one contactless card out of 2 in the world is a Gemalto card, or use a Gemalto technology chip in it. Now, when people decide to use contactless, there is something, which is extremely important, is to explain them, train people. I've seen so many customers, so many merchants having a dual interface or contactless equipment, a POS, but not knowing that they have such equipment. Putting just a contactless external reader somewhere else unconnected, or having a terminal which is supporting contactless transactions, but they don't know it. And the same situation for the card holders. They have a dual interface card, but nobody explained them that they are able to do contactless transactions, so they don't use it. So education is really key. And we've seen that in countries where this is a success, I'm thinking about United Kingdom, Turkey, they have done massive education. They have done commercials on the televisions or in the metro or in different places, newspapers, just to explain that now this type of technology is available in the market. Let's go through different case studies. The first one, which is the most well-known, is Barclays in UK. Barclays' strategy was really smart. When they decided to launch dual interface in 2007, they said, we need to use people that already have the habit to do something by contactless. So they said, we're going to target people based in the central of London and people using this card to use the Transport for London, so the Oyster card. They said, Oyster card people, they know, because they have the habit every day. Commuters, they tap when they get in, they maybe tap when they get out, so they know that they can do something which is quick and convenient. So they decided to target those guys and did that in a concentrated area, which was the central of London. Simply because when you issue cards in a market, dual interface cards, if people are, I would say, in the country and terminals are concentrated in area, it won't work. So everything needs to be in the same area, and like this, it's going to work. So their idea was really simple, 3-in-1, meaning that when you have cash, when you have the Oyster card and their credit card when they started, just then by accumulating all that, they just created a unique card which is named OnePulse. And OnePulse is a great success because now, since their initial rollout, they have decided to go massively to issue dual interface cards not only for credit but also for debit. And now there are 15 million cards in the country supporting dual interface. Many outlets are equipped with contactless readers to support contactless transactions. The number of transactions is still growing, and Barclays has decided also now to use a new additional form factor, which is a sticker. So this is an example of a sticker. So here it is obviously a Gemalto one. Here you have one from City, for example, where people will will actually break here the card to remove the sticker, and they will stick it on the back of a mobile phone, but they can stick it on whatever they want. They could stick it on the wallet, they could stick it on the dog tag that they carry around their neck. They can use it whatever they want. Another example was the one done in Italy. In Italy, Intesa Sanpaolo decided to target foreigners, people that come to visit either Milan or Torino. So what they did, they created a prepaid card. So people coming to visit these cities, they buy that card, 25 euro or something like that. I think it's 25 euro. And then they can, thanks to this card, have fast access to museum. They can take public transportation. They can reload the card up to 150 euro. So this card is is now well spread in those cities. Up to now, they are able to buy it in the past. They were able to buy it in the different types of museum, etc. But now it is spread also in some hotels, public transportation. So the rollout is growing as well. Other different city cards that we've seen, which are having a great success, are the one from Bank Asia in Turkey. they decided to push and differentiate themselves by issuing dual interface cards. So for that, they did strong commercials, so on televisions or over internet. And, and their goal is to say that everything is based in regards to the speed. So if you have not seen them, I will be able to show you those videos right after the presentation. But you will see that it is really specific, well-focused, just to explain to people simply how can they use such cards. So as I said regarding Barclays, new form factors have been now issued, the most well-known and the most easy to deploy being the sticker. So again, this is a sticker. And the goal for them, for those banks, most of the time is to issue this as a companion card, meaning that they will issue the normal card and they will propose to the cardholders to have an additional equipment, an additional card to do fast transactions or to give those cards to their kids, for example, if they want to use it when they go shopping. Obviously, contactless sticker, we can say that it is also a first step before to move directly to NFC payment. Also, other form factors which are known, the first one being the microSD. MicroSD is this small equipment that you can insert into your mobile phone. The goal here being that you will pay with your mobile phone, and your mobile phone, on it, you will also be able to see the last transaction that you've done. It will benefit from the EMV risk management, so you will be able to put EMV risk values back to 0. Again, if you remember, when you reach certain limit, does not goes online, and then it again goes online to put the EMV counters back to 0. And another one which is a little bit spread are the watches, where you insert, there is a SIM that you insert into your watch, and your watch includes an antenna which allows you to do contactless payment. What's new in 2012? Regulations, and I would say specifically Visa, MasterCard, have changed, have launched new specifications in which you are now gaining momentum. First of all, in public transport. When we talk about public transport, most of the time they are using closed-loop payments, meaning that they are based on MyFare, Desfire, Calypso, etc. They are very well deployed all over the world. I assume that maybe now all of them are using this type of technology. The benefit is simple, it's really speed. You have you have monthly subscriptions or weekly subscriptions, but they face some problems. The card issuance cost, because they have to pay, because it is for their needs. Interoperability. I am based, let's say, in Abu Dhabi. I want to go and take the metro in Riyadh. It won't work because it's not the same system, it's not the same public transportation, so you have to buy another subscription. And occasional commuters, people coming from abroad, if they want to use the metro or the public transportation, again, they will have to buy such card. And they will never know. Imagine people going to visit Paris. They will never know which type of ticket they need to buy because they just arrived in Charles de Gaulle airport. They want to visit Paris, but are they going to buy a 5 days ticket where they will pay for all the zone, or they just need the central zone, which is where the most of the things to see are? They never know, so it's always difficult. So for that, Visa, MasterCard, they have issued new specification named Pay at the Gate. So there, the big difference is that when you were using a transport application potentially linked to an EMV application, you had two distinct applications. You had the payment application, Visa, MasterCard, and the Desfire or MyFare, etc. So it's just, I would say, a lamination of two meanings. You have just the layer for the public transportation, so MyFare, Desfire, and you laminate with a contact card to make it simple. Here, you have a dual interface card with a single chip, and you will do only a transaction, a payment transaction. There, all the transactions even in the metro, even in the public transportation, will be done through Visa MasterCard. So there is no more Visa Desfire, or it's not an emulation as you may have on dual interface card. It is purely a payment transactions. So the benefit for the banks is that now they can access to all people that have such type of technology, because instead of promoting just for payment, they can also promote for the transportation. They are fully the owner of the card issuance, because today, if you have, let's say, a link between the public transportation company and this bank, they need to make some deals together, and sometimes it's quite complex. They need to know who's going to go for the personalization of the card. So it's quite complex. And also, there is something very important. What is the core business of those public transportation is simply to transport somebody from one point to the other. It is not to sell and to have space to sell the card or to sell this. What they need is just to want to collect the money, but selling their cards, selling the subscription is not their core business. Their core business is simply to transport people from one point to the other. So let's imagine that you provide such type of card. When people will get into the metro, they will tap. It's going to be a Visa, MasterCard. It's going to be an EMV transaction, and the transport company will get the money. So the goal is here to explain to people that as soon as you start to be educated to tap for a transport ride, you will be educated to also tap to buy something. Case studies, which is actually the first one worldwide, was with Guarantee Bank in Turkey. Guarantee Bank decided to launch with the Eskişehir municipality a program named Esparakard, where this bank is known as a very trendy city, and they target young university people, etc., for this prepaid card. So this was the first launch. It was done last year with Guarantee. So this card is it's a prepaid dual interface card, available in different city kiosks. So people buy this card, can reload this card, and can use this card as a prepaid. As of today, it's mainly a prepaid card, but with the data storage, which is in this type of card, today it's going to be for transport. Tomorrow they will also have the loyalty program. Something important that I didn't mention when I was talking about the payment at the gate is that even if I have, as you may have understood, a monthly subscription with this card, with this payment at the gate on my banking card, if tomorrow, even if I am, let's say I'm French, I'm going to UK, I'm going to somewhere else where the public transportation is equipped with payment at the gate, I will be able to use my card. I will not need to go to the cashier and buy a subscription, etc. It's purely a simple Visa, EMV transaction. Transport for London has completely understood this situation, and they have decided that in the future they're going to remove completely their existing Oyster card to be replaced completely with a payment at the gate. So their objectives are already well done. Phase 1, March 2012, buses will accept flat fares, offline transactions, and then you have the different phases up to end of 2013. Their goal is to continue really to push for this type of technology, payment at the gate, and potentially 2015 completely to remove the Oyster card. So if there are something to remember regarding this payment at the gate, would be that then now the banking card is owned by the bank. It's not the transport companies. They can do co-branding, they can do whatever they want, but it's simply an EMV application which is done. So you will be able to access a huge untapped market because people will use their existing card, and instead of paying by cash or buying a new subscription, they will just go. So the throughput at the gate will be much quicker. It will encourage contactless because, again, it's like an education. When people start to use and start to see the interest of going through contactless, they will use it as well for payment. Why Gemalto? Because we've been involved in all specification, the one of Visa, MasterCard, and during the specification definitions, we were involved in it. We've done the two worldwide mChip Advance launches, so one with Guarantee Bank in Eskişehir and the other one with Halkbank, also in Turkey. The knowledge is really important because when you start to issue dual interface, it's not a simple elimination, so it's quite complex. And one card out of two in the world is a Gemalto card. Thank you. This was a quite quick presentation on dual interface, payment at the gates, and other form factors. I will be just sitting next to here, as you may see. And just two things to remember is when you have a dual interface card, you can do payment, you can do transportation, but there are also other things that you can do with such payment card. You can do your loyalty, affinity, etc., etc., etc. Thank you.